I just quickly wanted to let you guys know that the head of the army in Iran, the Amir Hatami, not the IRGC, not the head of the IRGC, the head of the army, the Artesh, which is a less supposedly the less ideological part of the Islamic Republic. Remember, guys, for people who don't know, right now the Islamic Republic within Iran has two main armed forces. Like there's more, but these are the two main ones. The one that most people are familiar with is the IRGC. The other one is the Artesh, or the basically the general army. A lot of people, yeah, know IRGC as this Islamic jihadi part of the Islamic Republic, and the Artesh is maybe less ideological, and they're hoping for the Artesh to be. They have a lot of hope in the Artesh being maybe the part of the Islamic Republic that could do a coup against the Islamic Republic and side with the Iranian people. What we have been saying to many of our viewers is that the heads of Artesh have been replaced by people who are very ideologically loyal to the Islamic Republic, and even some of the many people within the Artesh are like that as well. It's true that maybe within the Artesh, within the body of the Artesh, there are many people there who might be useful at at the final stages of the revolution. We don't know how many. We don't know how many. Um, but this news that just happened indicates how big of a problem the Artesh is as well, because Amir Hatami, the head of the Artesh, just came up with a 30,000 bounty for any American that is killed by any Iranian, right? Anywhere in the world. So let me actually read the quote. Um, Again, this is the head of the army in the Islamic Republic saying anyone who kills or captures and hands over an invading American military personnel, okay, so invading American personnel will receive a reward equivalent to $30,000, or basically 5 billion tumans, for this from the Islamic Republic of Iran's army. So he also said courageous Iranian women who carry out such an action will receive double the reward. So if you're a woman who captures an American, you will receive double the reward. And then he also said they have no longer permission to enter the Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Oman, or the Strait of Hormuz. These are his quotes, right? So I don't know. I think he might be trying to signal that he's loyal. Maybe I don't know why all of a sudden he came out and said these things. Maybe there's a push from IRGC that we're going to escalate and we need to show your radicalism to us as well. Maybe that's what's happening, because there are some skepticism regarding that. This might be a sign of the Islamic Republic moving towards more escalation, and it might be the Artesh being required to demonstrate that they are all in 100% in on this. That might be the case. I don't know. Also, the part that women will get double the reward is a virtue signaling to, I mean, both the world and to the population, because they like to demonstrate that unlike what the world tells us that we're anti-woman, we actually respect women more than the rest of the world. So this is a common virtual signaling thing that they usually do. Um, oh, Danny is saying, is this allowed Islamically? Which part? The double the reward for the woman, or the? Oh yes, yes, it is allowed. Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Here's the thing: the highest priority Islamically is to defend Islamic rule. So you could do whatever you want as long as you could somehow justify that this is for the sake of preserving Islamic rule. You could do anything you want, guys. Like I'm serious. There's nothing that you cannot do if you could somehow show it that this will preserve Islamic rule. Like even the most un-Islamic stuff that I was thinking some stuff, but then I thought we're gonna get um, YouTube is gonna strike us if I mention the things that just came to my mind, so I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, so this is just an update I wanted to give you guys, and if you guys don't have any comments on it, I could read a super chat. But yeah, it's the reason why I think this is important is because I wanted to make sure that we use this news as an opportunity to show that the leadership of the Artesh and IRGC are not that different. But yeah, sorry, Nilbani, I interrupt. I saw you opening your mic.
Yeah, I was going to respond. So isn't the new head of Artesh, um, were they just appointed and they're essentially from the IRGC? So is it basically to just sort of take over the Artesh where we previously thought of them as being perhaps the most likely to defect to the prince's side?
So the changing of the heads of the army with IRGC loyalists has been something that has taken place for a while in Iran. Um, and even when there was some hope that something might happen from the Artesh, it was never from the leadership. It was from the people within the Artesh, maybe, not from the top leadership, even when there was some hope. Does that answer your question?
So I get you. Yeah, I guess that I guess my next question would be, so what's really changed? Wouldn't the normal ranks of the Artesh be the same? Would have the same possibility of defecting, and possibly more now because they don't want to be associated with this like death threats against you know Americans, and also essentially wasting offering up quite a lot of money um when everybody when they're I mean, isn't that a problem that Iran is having this horrible economic disaster, and they're offering how much money? I mean,
Thir-
that
Mm.
how could anybody be behind that? I mean, we've seen, how people are, saying they're really struggling. Even people that are supportive of the regime are saying they're really struggling. And then watching this, isn't that going to just cause more people to be uh, thinking maybe this isn't the way to go for the future?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask them, they're like, "Yeah, and we're helping. $30,000 is a help for your hardship. All you have to do is take an American. So this is our way of helping you out." That's what they would say, right? I guess, right? So like,
Yeah, but
it's financial.
nobody in Iran nobody in Iran is gonna be taking out any Americans, are they? I mean, that would be globally, right? I mean, that would be, we'll offer it to someone else somewhere not in Iran to,
So
kill an American.
that's what I thought, but when I read the quote, I realized he's talking about when Americans when they come into Iran, like or in the Persian Gulf or the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need a boat for that to go to up to the USS. I cannot just climb the USS Abraham Lincoln. I don't know. I don't know how that works, right? But
Yeah,
apparently, yeah, he's talking about Americans coming into Iran. It's just
yeah.
virtue signaling. It also now that I think about it, it also demonstrates that like, okay, so you guys can't do it yourself. um like it shows like, are you out of forces against the Americans and you're paying the civilians to get Americans for you? Like, isn't that what we
Mhm.
have an army for? Like, isn't that like, I mean, at least based on your narrative, like, isn't that your job? Why are you getting paying us to do it?
Yeah.
Like,
And also they're paid. I mean, they are in fact paid. And
yeah.
and then what they're going to, oh, we'll just sit in our hole, and you guys who, aren't armed, you go out and fight for us. Yeah. Oh no, we're totally in charge. You should totally keep us in charge. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just seems like number one, an empty threat, and almost one more reason for people to just sort of maybe think, yeah, maybe this isn't what we want anymore. I think maybe it might be an overall good that they've done that.
Yes. So yeah, yeah. I mean, to be fair, they don't care what the Iranian people think. This is probably just a message from the Artesh to the rest of the regime that we're not thinking of doing anything funny, or like we're not planning any coups. We're in all it. Like sometimes some of these the most radical comments are supposed to be crazy, because if it's like if it's not all out, that means like, what is this? Are you like, it has to be unreasonably radical, because if you don't, then the other people who are more unreasonably radical statements are showing more loyalty than you, right? So you have to you have to get creative, or else you're demonstrating that your heart is not in on it, right? So you have to just come up with a way to show like, yeah, you're for, like, now the memo came up from the top, we're doing escalation, put out a statement out there that you could demonstrate to the rest of us that you're with us, and that's what's happening. That's my reading of it.
So basically, who could be more Durkha than the other person?
Exactly. And Amy just came in, so she was like, what the hell? So Amy, the head of the Artesh in Iran, just came out and said there's a 30,000 reward for any Iranian that could take out an American. um so that's a new statement, that's a new bounty on Americans. So there you go. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.